So I do have two questions. The first one, in reference to the Bible stories, we've seen that in the case of David and Solomon, they chose by themselves to be polygamous, to get a second and more wives. But in the case of Jacob, he was deceived into marrying the wrong wife that he did not intend to marry. So how was he to handle that situation? Was it to refuse the first wife? But you can just clarify on that. And a second question, asking for a friend. It's true. Okay. If marriage was initiated by God himself, if marriage was initiated by God himself, if marriage was there in the perfect Eden, is it really true that there will be no marriage in the new earth? And if so, why? Does it mean that marriage is a bad or terrible thing now that it is not permitted in the new earth? Thank you.
Huyu anataka kungoja mpaka new earth. Huh? Mwambie ajaribu. And that is a person who's so tired with the world. And he's saying, if it is a must, let me wait for the new earth. Advise him to wait. We will find out when we get there. Personally, I have no idea. Umefanya hata tumesahau swali yako ya kwanza. Swali yake ya kwanza ilikuwa nini? Jacob, ile story ya Jacob, ati alidanganywa. Na hiyo kudanganywa was a consequence of his sin. The master deceiver was also done what? Deceived. You know, if you look at your life well, chances are what you're going through is a result of a long line of evil that rests in previous generations and continues to lift up its head in every generation. Me, for Jacob, I think it was payback time. Just thinking. It was. That guy was a deceiver. I tell you, Jacob even didn't know his name. Never knew his name. When the father asked him, who are you? He said, he's Esau. That guy never knew his name. And the day he knew his name is the day God forgave him. The day he said, I am Jacob, and the Lord says, you are no longer Jacob, but the day he accepted that he was Jacob, that is the day he received forgiveness. Otherwise, even at Laban's, he knows he's Esau because he's escaped with the birthright that does not belong to him. He's a man on the run, hiding. You don't go so far when you are wicked. Malipo ni hapa hapa. Si duniani, Nairobi. Hiyo kitu haiendangi mbali. Haiendangi mbali. Hapa. Hapa Nairobi. Doesn't go far. Was reaping what he had sowed. I mean, how do you sleep with a woman? Wale wameolewa. How do you sleep with a woman a whole night? And you have no idea. He has never talked to Rachel. Working in that home for 7 years. He doesn't even know the voice of Rachel. This thing they were doing when they were silent. I mean, how do you sleep with a woman a whole night? Only to wake up in the morning and find it was not the one you had paid down. How? Me, that thing I've never. Either he was intoxicated because it was a feast. Me, I always say they intoxicated Jacob. So he just slept and was operating with an intoxicated mind. When alcohol was gone, like, my opinion, even then, because I can tell you, the person that shortchanged Jacob was not a believer, was an idol worship, and believed in polygamy, because polygamy is a concept of the ungodly. So to Laban, he was not doing anything wrong. But because his heart was in Rachel, I believe, like Ellen White says, the widespread polygamy had been, they had already accepted and normalized it. I believe if that was the time of Kina Abraham, what of Jacob? I believe they had also normalized it. And so he said, Aisuru, let me work for the woman I love. And he worked. And the consequences of polygamy, God was not going to have him enjoy because he was deceived. He still reaped the consequences of polygamy. Still reaped them. So when God says it is wrong, it is wrong. Even if you toast it how, it is wrong. And it comes with consequences. Be willing to bear.